All right, now let's take a closer look at the templates for our components. So far you have seen two forms of using templates in a component. One way is to store the template externally, and then we use the template URL property of component metadata to specify the path to the template file. Another approach is to use the template property. So we can add the template inline here. Now you cannot mix these two approaches. So you should either use the template URL and store the template externally, or type it inline here. Which approach is better? Well, it really depends. If you're building a small component with a very simple template, you can add the template here, and this makes it easier to port this component and take it to a different application. But if your template is more than 5 lines of code, or perhaps more than 10 lines, you can imagine that this code is going to get too busy, too noisy. In that case, it's better to store the template externally. Now, when you create a component with Angular CLI, as you have seen before, it always puts the template in a separate file. So for each component, we have a folder, and inside that folder, we have the CSS file, the HTML file, the unit test file, and the actual component file. You can argue that even with this approach, you can copy the entire favorite folder into a different project, and that's a perfectly valid argument. So which approach you choose is more of a personal preference. My recommendation is to use templates externally if there are more than 5 lines of code. Now let me show you one more thing about templates before we finish this lecture. So I'm going to delete this line here. Next, I'm going to go to app-component.html. I'm going to add a simple heading here. So hello world, right? Now back in the browser, in Chrome Developer Tools, under the Network tab, look, these are the requests to the server. So if you look in this list, there are no requests to any of our template files. So where are they? Our templates are actually bundled along with our source code. So here we have main.bundle. So all our TypeScript code is compiled or transpiled into JavaScript and is placed inside this bundle. Now let's click this, go to the response tab. So this is the content of our main bundle. If you search for hello world, look, all our external templates are actually bundled along with our JavaScript code. So there are no separate requests to the server to download these templates.